Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to just a quick little video here, specifically on the Gundies. I let this go a bit too long. Voting for the Gundies actually ends at the end of January, so there are only a couple of days left. I should say, if you're not familiar with them, the Gundies are essentially a firearms social media popularity contest. It's actually a little less trite than that makes it sound. It's an opportunity to just recognize people who are doing good work in firearms stuff on Instagram and YouTube and other social media platforms. The actual announcement party is, I believe, February 19th, and it's open to popular voting. And in fact, there are sponsors for a whole bunch of different categories. Think of the Oscars. And voting for them puts you into basically a raffle to win some prizes. So just by voting, you have the chance to get some cool stuff. Now, when it comes to the channels and the creators that have been nominated for the Gundies, very few of them are historically oriented. This is mostly it's a big name popularity contest. And there are a couple channels out there that I think have been putting out fantastic, well-researched, well-produced, historically oriented firearms content for years now, and it would be really awesome to have the Gundies this year be a little bit of a Revenge of the Nerds thing, and see a couple of these channels get some recognition. And there are three that I want to mention, and the first one up is Rob at BritishMuzzleLoaders. I talked about BritishMuzzleLoaders years ago in a video on some up-and-coming channels that are worth watching. He has continued to put out fantastic content. It's a narrow, focused niche of not actually just muzzleloaders, but also a lot of early 20th century British service weapons, 19th century British service weapons. It's fantastic. And what Rob really deserves to get is the Gundy Award for Most Dapper Influencer. Because he has an array of fantastic historical British military uniforms that he uses in a bunch of his videos. He also has probably the second best, maybe the best mustache in all of firearms social media. I have yet to have a chance to actually meet Rob in person. It would be really fun to do some collaborative work at some point, but I have absolutely used some of his work as reference for some of mine, and he totally deserves your support. Fantastic guy. You should definitely vote for him on the Gundies for Most Dapper. Number two is C&Rsenal. I'm sure most of you are familiar with C&Rsenal. They do, without a doubt, the most in-depth, most researched, deepest dive firearms videos out there on the internet anywhere. You can take it to the bank. Othais and May do a fantastic job. Their production quality is incredible. It's actually way higher production quality than I think they ought to do. They're running themselves ragged to make the videos both historically, factually, as close to perfect as possible, and also looking and sounding outstanding. And so I think you should go vote for them for Best Gun Reviewers, because, hey, I think they deserve it. They're the ones who are giving you the best information about firearms out there. They may not be the newest firearms, but they are a lot of very interesting ones. Originally, C&Rsenal was just doing World War I. They have expanded out. They're already doing a series on black powder revolvers. They're going to be expanding into shotguns. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming from C&Rsenal. And the third is Matt Larosier, who is actually a much newer channel than either of these other two. His channel is called FuddBusters, and Matt is actually a firearms lawyer. He is, in fact, an attorney who has done a bunch of work in the firearms rights, firearms legislation field, and he does a fantastic job of providing no-nonsense, factual, not hyperbolic content about legal issues surrounding firearms in the United States. So if you want to know what's actually going on without it being the marketing hype from either side or the, oh no, the sky is falling, if you want to know the actual story, what things actually mean, what current events imply, and what they're going to lead to, you should absolutely check out Matt Larosier, Fudbusters. And he has been nominated for Best 2A Voice. Best 2A Influencer? I think Best Voice of the Second Amendment. So those three, British Muzzleloaders for Most Dapper, C&Rsenal for Best Gun Reviewer, and Matt Larosier, Fudbusters, for Best 2A Voice. I have also been nominated for a couple of things. If you want to vote for me for Most Influential Male, that would be pretty cool too. But really, the people that deserve it, I think, are some of the smaller channels that really could benefit from the attention. So check them out. I will include links to all 3 of those specific categories down in the description text below. Thanks for watching, and thanks for working with me on this. It'd be really fun to get, especially British muzzleloaders, off to the Gundies.